Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star 2, Land of Origin based on novel. So let's start. Yulon City, in a city core area, within an ordinary cave mansion. A slightly chubby man, with deep blue skin sat watching, a pair of soft antennae on his head and glasses on his nose, grinning as he observed a battle recording within a dossier. Tianhe, you actually lost to a newly promoted elder. The chubby man said with a laugh while looking at Elder Tianhe beside him. I am wholly convinced by my defeat. Elder Tianhe joked with self-deprecating humor, then he turned to the chubby man, Workshop Master, aren't you interested in having a contest with him? The chubby man chuckled. He was the master of the deceit workshop. There's no need for comparison. His cultivation base is still relatively shallow, and was only relying on an external object. The deceit workshop master shook his head. At least for that last claw strike Luo Feng revealed, the deceit workshop master was confident he could suppress it. The primary reason Elder Tian, he was willing to join the deceit workshop, was none other than the deceit workshop master himself. The deceit workshop master practiced two different Dao paths, and was even attempting to fuse the two into one. Even within the dark sacred realm, there are many who cultivate two or three Dao paths simultaneously. However, it's exceedingly rare to find those who can fuse different Dao paths into one. Among the top 20 powerhouses of Yulon City, in terms of potential, the deceit workshop master is the first. Elder Tian, he knew his own potential was limited, even forced to choose the bloodline path. He naturally needed to latch onto a powerful benefactor, and he chose the deceit workshop master. Tianhe. After reviewing all the detailed intelligence on Luo Feng, the deceit workshop master finally spoke with a smile. Prepare 1 billion primordial crystals, and have your subordinates deliver them to Luo Feng as your apology to him. Apology. Elder Tian, he couldn't help but protest, we are both elders, why should I apologize to him? And what I have in Yulon City is only an avatar, why should I curry favor with him? Elders generally have the clone technique, and naturally carry a sense of pride. To admit defeat outside the East City Gate was already a blow to Elder Tian, his prestige. And now to offer an apology. Listen to me, the deceit workshop master commanded. Once someone decided to follow him, they needed to do things according to his rules. If Elder Tian, he did not listen to him, the deceit workshop master would only distance himself from Elder Tianhe. Elder Tian, he hesitated, but eventually nodded, fine. I will arrange the apology. Workshop master, I don't understand why we are treating him with such courtesy. Elder Tian, he looked at the deceit workshop master for an explanation. Look at the intelligence, he has only been in Yulon City for a little over 1,000 epochs. The deceit workshop master said with a laugh, pointing at the detailed intelligence hovering in front of him. At the beginning, he seemed to be at the early stage divine emperor level, but in just over 1,000 epochs, he became strong enough to suppress you. What kind of cultivation speed is that? Workshop master. The intelligence also stated seemed to be at the early stage divine emperor level. Elder Tian, he argued, when he first arrived in Yulon City, it wasn't possible to accurately verify his strength. There was a member of the insect nest who attempted to steal from him, but still failed, unable to discern his true strength. Later, when Luo Feng openly took action, he single-handedly defeated our raiding team. At that time, it was clear that his strength was much stronger than that of a mid-stage divine emperor cultivator. In my opinion, when he first came to Yulon City, his real strength should have been at the mid-stage divine emperor level. Only after acquiring resources from Yulon City did he break through his bottleneck, stepping into the late-stage divine emperor. The deceit workshop master gently shook his head. I don't engage in speculation, I only consider the facts. The fact is, this Luo Feng, when he first came to Yulon City, was even sharing a lease with Emperor Qing, and he was buying the cheapest materials in the city. Clearly, he was very poor, the Deceit Workshop Master said, but in just a little over 1,000 epochs, he has become a late-stage divine emperor cultivator. Think about it. How long did you and I take? How many billions of primordial crystals worth of resources did we spend to reach the late stage of divine emperor? Elder Qian, he was taken aback. How much had he sacrificed to become a divine emperor at the late stage? Even if one becomes half primordial level, so what? Elder Qian, he said, our foundation lies in the dark sacred realm. No more questions, you will understand in the future, the Deceit Workshop Master declared. Yes. I will go arrange the apology right away. Elder Qian, he stood up to go. The Deceit Workshop Master watched Elder Qian he leave. Subsequently, whoosh, an invisible fluctuation emerged, and a shadowy figure appeared in mid-air, a man radiating endless fervor. Wei Yang Palace Master, the Deceit Workshop Master addressed him. The Wei Yang Palace Master, his face as if carved from stone, deep eyes emotionless, was an extremely dominant and authoritarian figure, a half-primordial cultivator, who after eons of trials in the dark sacred realm, had established a foundation in the Nine Rivers sacred realm through an avatar. Upon arriving, he had even managed to suppress the city builder, the Yuan Xiong Palace Master, to become the most powerful hall master in Yulon City. The resources and benefits he received in Yulon City were also the most amongst the 3 hall masters. I heard your Deceit Workshop's Elder Qian, he was defeated by one called Luo Feng. The Wei Yang Palace Master looked at the Deceit Workshop Master, a rare smile on his face. His pride was such that within the city, very few could gain his attention, but the Deceit Workshop Master was clearly one of them. This Luo Feng has extraordinary potential. Even if he leaves for the dark sacred realm in the future, it's very possible he will leave behind an avatar in Yulon City, said the Deceit Workshop Master. The Yulon City of the future might very well be decided by him. Oh? Wei Yang Palace Master's spectral figure smiled, you rate him so highly. The Deceit Workshop Master did not say more. Yulon City is under the collective control of the 3 of us Hall Masters. If he is strong enough, then it will simply go from 3 Hall Masters to 4, said Wei Yang Palace Master with a smile, but for now, he still has a long way to go in terms of strength. It seems the Palace Master has thought this through very carefully. The Deceit Workshop Master nodded in agreement. Brother Yuan, Wei Yang Palace Master said, with your talent, you should have caught up to me by now. The 2 paths you're cultivating, you still haven't had a breakthrough. The next expedition is about to start, you're still not participating. I'm not participating, the Deceit Workshop Master said with a slight smile. Wei Yang Palace Master nodded. He and the Master of Deceit Workshop were also friends in the dark sacred realm. Then the communication was abruptly cut off. Luo Feng. The Master of Deceit Workshop pondered. He established the Deceit Workshop. Inherently, he was not of a kind nature. His Deceit Realm Dao was filled with darkness and malice. He actually causes my Deceit Realm heart to feel fear, the Master of Deceit Workshop muttered to himself. When watching the battle footage, the Deceit Realm heart, condensed within him, was trembling with fear, instinctively afraid of this Luo Feng. In the dark sacred realm, there are some cultivators that cultivate both paths, elevating them to the half-primordial level, pondered the Master of Deceit Workshop, but they still can't escape the braided cage. There is a legend in the dark sacred realm that cultivating both paths is not enough. Only by fusing the 2 paths into one can one undergo a qualitative change and possibly escape the braided cage. I have been cultivating and have only managed to elevate my Deceit Realm Dao to the early stage of Divine Emperor. The Master of Deceit Workshop shook his head slightly. He has reached the late stage Divine Emperor in his dual cultivation, before deciding to follow the path of fusion. The fusion at that stage is too difficult. only after an endless era, has the Deceit Realm Tao reached the early stage of Divine Emperor. He even slowed down his other two paths, worried about being on the wrong track. The path of fusion has a broader future. Just at the early stage God Emperor level, it is comparable to the ordinary path of a late-stage Divine Emperor. If the fusion path can reach half primordial, it is indeed likely that one could escape the braided cage. The Master of Deceit workshop naturally had both ambition and patience. As for this Luo Feng, let's take a closer look. The Master of Deceit workshop did not want to make an enemy, but neither did he want to get too close. In the core area of Yulon City lies a cave mansion, which, in terms of area, is only a few times larger than Emperor Qing's. This is the new cave mansion I've rented. Luo Feng led Emperor Qing, Emperor Ming, Di Fu, and the others as they toured the new mansion. The energy supply here is vast. Emperor Qing sensed the energy that even liquefied into mist in the air. It should be sufficient for a half-primordial level cultivator to absorb at full strength. Emperor Ming and Di Fu also felt invigorated. I never thought I could live in the core area of Yulon City. Di Fu couldn't help but remark with emotion, any cave mansion in this core area was outrageously expensive to rent. How much is the rent here? Emperor Ming curiously asked. 5,000 primordial crystals per epoch, Luo Feng answered, feeling the pinch himself. There was no way around it, as he had already rented one of the smaller ones in the core area. 5,000 primordial crystals for just one epoch. Merely staying here for 10,000 epochs would cost 50 million primordial crystals. Emperor Ming and Di Fu were both astounded. Such a housing expense is continuous, and without sufficient strength, one really wouldn't dare rent such an expensive place. Luo Feng had no choice. With the increase in strength, he absorbed energy faster and naturally needed to choose a better cave mansion. This cave mansion, at the very least, would ensure adequate energy supply even after life and death Tao reached the middle stage of Divine Emperor. Luo Feng suddenly sensed someone knocking at the door. Just having moved in, and there's already someone knocking. I'll go check it out. Di Fu volunteered and went to the courtyard gate. Di Fu actively went to open the door, and saw an elder standing outside. The elder's aura was restrained, but the slight release of energy still gave Di Fu a bit of a shock. Young friend Di Fu. The elder saw Di Fu, immediately recognized him, and enthusiastically said, I am here on the orders of my workshop master, to present Luo Feng Divine Emperor with an invitation. Our workshop master will personally visit tomorrow. Di Fu immediately took the invitation, and only then did the elder leave with a smile. An invitation. Di Fu quickly delivered the invitation to Luo Feng's hands. Luo Feng opened it to see a few simple sentences written on the invitation, mainly expressing an interest in hiring Luo Feng as the garrison commander of Yundan building. Further details would be discussed in person when the workshop master of Yundan building visited the next day. This is the third one today who wants to hire me, Luo Feng laughed as he looked at the invitation. Brother Luo Feng's strength is among the top even among elders. The forces of Yulon City aren't fools. Some with weaker foundations probably all want to hire Brother Luo Feng, Emperor Qing said with a smile. Brother Luo Feng, you should compare multiple offers and see who provides better conditions. Luo Feng nodded. Yulon City seems comparatively safe, but in reality, there are still some crises. For instance, there are low-level primordial life forms that can infiltrate Yulon City, and there are also cultivators who may hurt others in the shadows. Therefore, the larger the business, the more it needs sufficient martial might for protection. Even Yulon City itself requires enough martial power. Otherwise, even with the protection of the city walls, they may not withstand an assault from low-level primordial life groups. On the first day Luo Feng moved into his new cave mansion, he received a total of 12 invitations, with the backgrounds of the inviting parties ranging from strong to weak. The most significant was from one of the three great hall masters, Yuan Xiong Palace Master, the city builder of Yulon City, who had sent an invitation for Luo Feng to visit his own mansion. Those with weaker backgrounds were ordinary elders, not as strong as Elder Qian He. But these ordinary elders were more willing to spend a great cost to win over Luo Feng. Apart from the 12 invitations, Luo Feng also received an apology gift from Elder Qian He worth 100 million primordial crystals, which surprised him greatly. This Elder Qian He is a powerhouse from the source world. I pose no threat to him. And yet he would send an apology gift. Luo Feng looked at the cloth bag in his hand, which contained 100 million primordial crystals. Elder Qian He has gifted it, so naturally, I accepted it. These 12 invitations, Luo Feng sat in the courtyard, looking at the night scene of Yulon City and slightly furrowed his brows. The other 11 invitations can all be set aside. The key one is the invitation from Yuan Xiong Palace Master. The three great palace masters, and only Yuan Xiong Palace Master invited me. Luo Feng was somewhat puzzled. This did not match the intelligence he had. Among the three great palace masters, there was no need to mention Master Gai Dao, who focused on artifact refining. The elders around him were all interested in artifact refining. Naturally, he would not take the initiative to invite Luo Feng. But it was quite odd that Wei Yang Palace Master did not send an invitation. Wei Yang Palace Master likes to recruit elders the most. Although he joined Yulon City later, he has won over the most numerous tier of elders in the entire city. He usually invites any newly promoted elders, thought Luo Feng, but he didn't invite me. There are more than 700 beings with the strength of the elder tier in the city, and 327 have passed the test to acquire the status of an elder. It was because Wei Yang Palace Master warmly courted many elder tier beings that he held the strongest influence in the city. It just so happens that I also dislike the way Wei Yang Palace Master conducts his affairs, Luo Feng thought. The forces of theft and plunder all belonged under Wei Yang Palace Master's command. I'll go see Yuan Xiong Palace Master tomorrow. Luo Feng was curious about Yuan Xiong Palace Master, who was after all the founder of Yulon City. As the builder of Yulon City, the cave mansion of Yuan Xiong Palace Master was originally the largest in the city. Later, however, Wei Yang Palace Master took over several mansions to merge into one, forcefully making it much larger than Yuan Xiong Palace Master's mansion. Luo Feng arrived at the main gate of the cave mansion. Luo Feng, Divine Emperor. The main gate was wide open. A slender man stood there, smiling at Luo Feng. The palace master has been waiting for Luo Feng, Divine Emperor. Your Excellency, please follow me. This slender man, dressed in a loose robe, had thick body hair. Thanks to Earth Third General, Luo Feng said politely. Under Yuan Xiong Palace Master, there were 3 puppets, each possessing the power to rival a perfect low-level primordial life. In other words, these 3 puppets, if ranked among Yulon City's divine emperors, all could be placed within the top 50. Worthy of being the one who built Yulon City, profound depth, even servants have such formidable strength, Luo Feng thought. This was much stronger than the foundations of the ancestors from the 2 nations of land of origin. Walking inside this massive mansion, shortly after, in a garden, Luo Feng saw a figure sitting on the ground smiling towards him. Luo Feng, come, take a seat. Although Luo Feng had already obtained information on the other party, this was still the first time he saw Yuan Xiong Palace Master's true appearance. Yuan Xiong Palace Master's appearance was not too handsome, but he naturally carried an endless charm. Luo Feng couldn't help but feel a sense of goodwill upon seeing him. Master, your subordinate will take his leave, said Earth Third General respectfully. Yuan Seong Palace Master smiled and nodded slightly. Luo Feng then walked over and sat down opposite Yuan Seong Palace Master. This Yuan Seong Palace Master's aura is indeed very weak, Luo Feng observed closely, also sensing that even as Yuan Seong Palace Master sat, there was a faint sense of weariness about him. To feel weary at such a level of cultivation. This was quite incredible. Even Luo Feng could feel that Yuan Seong Palace Master's life fire was struggling to support him. An old ailment, Yuan Seong Palace Master personally poured wine for Luo Feng and said with a smile, "Originally, when I went hunting for super limit level low-level primordial life with some friends, having gotten used to hunting, who would have thought one super limit level primordial life would break through, turning into a high-level primordial life? Coming face to face with a high-level primordial life at close range, and I ended up like this," Yuan Seong Palace Master sighed. "No way to resolve the contamination?" Luo Feng asked. Yuan Seong Palace Master looked at Luo Feng with a smile. As recorded in the experiences of the Dark Sacred Realm, only by freeing one's spiritual will from the braided cage can one rid oneself of this contamination. This is the only way to get rid of it. Facing high-level primordial life, they were killed on the spot. As a powerhouse of the Source World, with the Avatar in his home Source World sharing memories, it was also contaminated. Clearly, that high-level primordial life had a strong killing intent, wishing to completely eradicate these cultivators. Luckily, Yuan Seong Palace Master had the Source World's protection, and a secret technique to guard his spiritual will, which allowed him to barely save his life. From then on, I could only focus on cultivating my spiritual will. Yuan Seong Palace Master smiled. Additionally, being too bored, I exchanged merit points and applied to build a city in Nine Rivers Sacred Realm, which is this Yulon city. Luo Feng listened. The battle merit required for building a city was extremely high. Yuan Seong Palace Master was evidently very powerful originally, having accumulated a lot of battle merit. After being contaminated, during the city-building process, the strength he showed was even stronger than that of Wei Yang Palace Master. The reason he ranked second in the city was due to the fact that being contaminated, maintaining his own clarity was already not easy. Naturally, if he could avoid action, he would not act. He had no interest in vying for power or profit. On one hand, there was Yuan Seong Palace Master, who did not vie for power or profit and hardly ever took action. On the other hand, there was Wei Yang Palace Master, who recruited various strong beings and often took action. Wei Yang Palace Master's influence was naturally stronger. "I've heard that Yuan Seong Palace Master rarely invites divine emperors," Luo Feng said. "Why did the Palace Master invite me this time? You are different." Yuan Seong Palace Master looked at Luo Feng. "Yesterday, after you defeated Elder Tian He, I inquired about you with two divine emperors from Land of Origin in the Dark Sacred Realm." Luo Feng was startled. He inquired in the Dark Sacred Realm about the two divine emperors from Land of Origin. "The two ancestors. Although my power has weakened now, I still have some standing," Yuan Seong Palace Master said with a smile. "I found them, and they briefly told me about you. In just over 1,000 years, from eternal true God to early stage divine emperor. Another 1,000 years, from early stage divine emperor to late stage divine emperor. Even overpowering Elder Tian He." Yuan Seong Palace Master looked at Luo Feng. "You are much stronger than I was when younger." Luo Feng was secretly astonished. The other party knew all his information. "I have no malicious intentions," Yuan Seong Palace Master said with a smile. "The current me is just struggling to survive. The difficulty of breaking through the braided cage with my spiritual will is too high. I don't even know if I have a chance in this life. But I founded Yulon City with my own hands, and I can feel that the infiltration of the low-level primordial life into Yulon City is growing stronger, said Yuan Seong Palace Master, looking at Luo Feng. I worry that one day Yulon City will be breached. At that time, hundreds of millions of cultivators within will face a terrible calamity. Luo Feng nodded. Where a city is established, it is also natural for it to face destruction. I know Wei Yang's nature, he is extremely selfish, sighed Yuan Seong Palace Master. He came to Yulon City for the purpose of earning resources. Once the situation turns sour, he will only save himself. This city was built by me, and the hundreds of millions of cultivators who have come here are also my responsibility, said Yuan Seong Palace Master. I do not wish to see a calamity where hundreds of millions of cultivators perish gruesomely. That's why I invited you here. Yuan Seong Palace Master looked at Luo Feng. Your talent is incomparable to the likes of Wei Yang. Once you have grown sufficiently, your power alone will far surpass that of all the elders combined. As long as your strength is enough, I can transfer the greatest authority of the city builder to you when the time comes, said Yuan Seong Palace Master to Luo Feng. The city builder's authority. Luo Feng was surprised. Yes, the rules within the city were set by me, Yuan Seong Palace Master said, looking at Luo Feng. I am willing to give Wei Yang Palace Master more benefits now to bind him to us. I can also reduce his benefits if needed. Of course, your strength must surpass both Wei Yang and Gai Dao, explained Yuan Seong Palace Master. What level of strength would be considered to have surpassed them both? Luo Feng asked. Both of them are enlightened at the half-primordial level with considerable accumulation, and possess no shortage of treasures, smiled Yuan Seong Palace Master. To completely surpass them, you must at least cultivate 2 paths, reaching the half-step primordial level in both. Then, I can transfer the city builder's authority to you. To master 2 paths at the half-primordial level. Currently, both my life and destruction are at the mid-divine emperor stage, and the life and death Tao is even at the early stage divine emperor. I still have a long way to go, said Luo Feng. With your talent, it won't take long, Yuan Seong Palace Master said with a smile. I have encountered such an exceptional talent as yours in the dark sacred realm. I believe that within 10,000 eras, you can reach this level. When Yuan Seong Palace Master was at full strength, he was already a peerless powerhouse in the dark sacred realm. If the 2 founders are considered to be at the bottom of the dark sacred realm, then Yuan Seong Palace Master is already standing at a higher level. The Palace Master really believes in me, said Luo Feng. Yuan Seong Palace Master flipped his hand, handing Luo Feng a spatial bracelet with a smile, a little gift for our first meeting. This spatial bracelet was without an owner, and Luo Feng could sense it with a thought. Upon sensing, Luo Feng was a bit stunned. Inside the spatial bracelet were mountains of primordial crystals, not just individual pieces, but chopped into large blocks. A large piece like this could be worth 1 primordial crystal in itself. 50 billion primordial crystals. Luo Feng was somewhat dazed. Just a little token, Yuan Seong Palace Master said with a smile. It's nothing worth mentioning. Luo Feng thought for a moment, but still accepted the gift. This gift was significant. By accepting, he now owed a huge favor. However, these 50 billion primordial crystals were of great assistance to him at present. Seeing Luo Feng accept it, Yuan Seong Palace Master nodded with a slight smile. For now, you just need to focus on cultivation. No need to concern yourself with other matters within the city. Luo Feng nodded. Thank you, Palace Master. After watching Luo Feng leave, Yuan Seong Palace Master was in a complex mood. The contamination keeps permeating and torturing me, and its influence grows stronger on me by the day. I don't know when I will completely collapse, my consciousness obliterated, said Yuan Seong Palace Master, feeling quite powerless. Before I perish, I'll do something for the billions of cultivators. Having lived in Yulon City for so long, he inevitably grew attached. He knew that a city could hardly exist forever. But he hoped that Yulon City would last as long as possible. In Luo Feng, he saw hope. Palace Master, in the outer city's Cloud 9 district. Cultivator, Chu Feng Divine Emperor, from Cave Mansion 331297, is suspected to be controlled by low-level primordial life. A voice rang out next to Yuan Seong Palace Master's ear. Monitor all movements and associations of this Chu Feng Divine Emperor within the city, Yuan Seong Palace Master instructed. Try to find more infiltrators. Yes, the voice replied respectfully. Yuan Seong Palace Master was rather fatigued. The natural gifts of low-level primordial life beings were diverse. Despite Yuan Seong Palace Master trying every possible method, he could not prevent some from infiltrating. Those who infiltrated and went on a killing spree did not bother him much. What worried him were those who had been lying in wait, not making a move. These lurkers, once they erupted, would pose a huge problem. At this moment, Luo Feng was also returning to his own cave mansion. By accepting this gift, I have effectively taken a side among the three palace masters of Yulon City, Luo Feng chuckled as he looked at the spatial bracelet on his wrist. From the information he had, he was already more inclined towards Yuan Seong Palace Master. Reach that realm within 10,000 eras. The Palace Master has quite some faith in me. With a smile, Luo Feng flew into his own cave mansion. This video will end here.